Hey guys, it's Tanaya. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I have a ton of videos about being a lash tag, business owner, whatever. And I'm going to be switching to some more like, you know, day in the life personal content, just getting to know me. But subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. But today I'm going to be talking about things I wish I knew before I became a lash tag / things that annoy me being a lash tag. Because even though I really like what I do, everything comes with something that you just have to get over. Like, nothing is perfect in life, so you're not just gonna like every single last thing. So let's get right into it. And you guys, I haven't done a sit down video in my studio in like, it feels like forever, right? So one of the things I wish I learned, like when I took my first certification class in Brooklyn, I wish I was more prepared about dealing with different personalities and angry clients, okay? So what I mean by that is, as a lash artist, an esthetician, a waxer, any type of business where you're actually you know, dealing with different customers and you physically see them or you speak with them over the phone, whatever your business is, you are going to deal with a lot of different types of people. So for a lash tag, you're going to have clients that always come on time. You're going to have clients that maybe come 5-10 minutes early. They take really good care of their lashes. They tell the whole world about you. They refer a lot of people to you, and they're like the perfect client, right? Then you're going to get people who test you and test your policies and test your niceness. So you're going to get people that come late, and they're going to consistently do it. Even if you tell them to enforce your policies, they're going to consistently do it. And then when you try to enforce your policies, they're going to want to argue with you. So you're going to get those clients that try to test your policies and try to test you. Then you're going to get clients, that don't know how to care for their lashes, or not, I'm going to correct myself, that know how to care for their lashes and know what they should be doing, but they choose not to, and then they try to put the blame on you. So, and I feel like that is a whole nother piece of the industry that I can't stand. So it's a whole nother piece. I'll make that my next point. But you'll get clients that literally know that they should be cleaning their lashes. They know that if they're going all like this, like they're gonna get shedding. They know that they wear a lot of makeup, but they don't clean them. Like, they know that they're a picker or whatever, but then they come back and say, yeah, they all came off, or a lot of them are coming off, and I don't know why, you know. And they play silly and literally have you as a tech thinking, oh my God, like, is my glue bad? Is my freaking sealant crappy? Or do I need to change products? They got you like questioning your whole life. But really, they know it be them. But as techs, you'll never really fully know, you know? So this is the other thing that's frustrating that I wish I would have learned beforehand, is that there's this big ambiguity, this big gray area between losing lash extensions from the tech's application, glue, bonder, practices, whatever, versus clients' aftercare. Sometimes I still find myself in situations where I'm like, okay, all right, it's always a 50-50 shot. It's either me or it's you, the client. So sometimes I find myself in situations where somebody had more shedding than usual, and I'm like, all right, what did you do differently? They're always gonna say that they never did anything differently, and if I didn't do anything differently, then you're just like, well, what is it? You know what I mean? So you're gonna have situations where you're left in this space. Sorry for the noise. You're gonna have situations where you're left in this space where you have a client who's trying to figure out why they're shedding, and then you're trying to like be a detective, the lash artist detective, and figure out what it could be. And there's so many things that it could be. Like, you don't know what cleanser they're using on their face. You don't know how they sleep. You don't know what products they use on their face throughout the day. You don't know if they do pick them off. You don't know anything. All they're telling you is that it is falling off. You don't know anything. And you gotta hope that your client is like super honest about things, because a lot of them are not going to want to take the blame. This was one of the biggest things that I had to get over as a hurdle when I first got certified, was retention and figuring out what the heck was going wrong. So you're gonna have to test out a lot, not like 20 different glues, but you're gonna try a few different glues. I started off using freaking Sky Glue on Amazon, okay? And then I found this other company. I forgot the name of that company, but it was this lash tech girl who started her own brand, and she's still going. I really can't remember her brand, but now I use Lip Bay. I've been sticking with their glue for a while, but I'm ready to sample glues and have my own brand of glue. But like, you're gonna test out different glues and different bonders and different lashes until like you start to see like the products that you're using, and you start to have clients that are coming back at their fill dates and they have like a decent amount left or whatever. So that is something I wish I was like more prepared for. Like, yes, a lot of people will tell you you got to try different products, but like I felt like the part that was missing was telling us why we have to try different products. It's not really just about trying different products to see what you like. It's trying different products to see what freaking works for your clients and what works for your humidity settings or whatever. I did not realize how much your freaking humidity and your environment matters when I first got certified. That was something that I had to learn. Thank God for YouTube, that I had to learn about humidity and the temperature in your room, and then looking at your glue and seeing what temperature and humidity it works best under. I had to learn all of that on YouTube. So thank God for YouTube or whatever. But that's another very frustrating thing, is dealing with like retention, because everybody can be different. But if you have majority of your clients, especially your regulars, who are coming back and they're not completely bald and they have good retention, and then you have one or two that are having issues, chances are it's something they're doing in their aftercare. So really don't beat yourself up over that. Try to like make sure your products are good. You know what I mean? Like, take care of your glue bottles. If you have to change the top of your glue, I started doing this too. But these tops on these things, like, you can change them or whatever. There's companies that sell just the tops and change them out or whatever. Like, make sure your humidity is good. Get a humidifier or whatever. So at least make sure everything on your end. It is so noisy over here. Oh my gosh. My building is right like near a very busy street and intersection. And I got the police station down the street. I got the fire department next door. It's a mess. It's always pretty noisy every once in a while. But make sure all your stuff is right on your end. So then if a client has an issue, at least, okay, you got my glue's good, my bonder's good, my lashes are good, and I have a lot of clients who have good retention. Let's break some other things down. So that's something that I wish I would have knew more about, or like how to troubleshoot those things more. The other thing about being a lash artist that isn't so great is getting clients. Getting clients is not fun. All right, like, I'm gonna just put it out there. So, and that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people struggle with in the beginning or whatever. But once you get them, like, you're set. Once you get the clients, you're set, and they like your work, they're coming back. You know, whether they're gonna come back and be your client for a couple months, or maybe they're just coming for like a holiday time or special occasion, and then you'll have your girls that are coming to you for over a year consistently every 2 weeks. So once you get them, you're straight, because then like they become your marketers pretty much, and then they tell their friends and family, they're walking around with your eyelash extensions on. But getting clients, starting from scratch and getting clients is not fun. It's hard, but you have to just put yourself out there, and once you get over that hurdle, then you'll be good. Okay, so another thing that can be frustrating, and I don't know if you do this to your lash artist. I don't know if I'm the only one that that after a while I'm like, all right already with this, is a lot of people don't take you seriously when it comes to this being your full-time job. So a lot of clients who don't know you can come to your place of business, whether you have your suite or wherever you're lashing out of, and they're getting to know you, right? And they're like asking all these personal questions about you and your whole life story. Fine. But then they'll say like, oh, so you know, is this your business? Oh, do you do this like full time? Is this your job? Oh, okay. Or do you see yourself doing this for a really long time? Like certain questions people ask you, like makes it feel like this is like it's not like a serious thing to do. And I don't think people even realize how they come off when they start to ask certain things. So but yeah, some people do this full time, some people do it part-time or whatever, you know, but people will, you could be in a full-blown salon and somebody will make you feel like, when you're in certain industries, somebody will make you feel like, you know, like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't do this kind of work. You sure you want to do this? Like, people will say certain things, and I really don't know why people do that. It's just kind of like, okay, let's have small talk or whatever. Hey, how you doing? How do you want your lashes? Da, da, da. I think this will be good for you. Whatever, whatever, whatever. Do you have any pictures for inspo? And then you lay down and you fall asleep. But I think that some people kind of like step over certain boundaries and certain privacy boundaries as well. Like, people might ask you, I've had people ask me like how much I pay in rent and all this. It's just like people kind of they step over the boundary and they kind of make it awkward when you have to like kind of not flat out say, but when you kind of have to say something where you're kind of like, okay, that's a little like too personal. But some people, they just don't care and they'll ask any type of personal question or whatever and just want to know your whole life, when really, like, you don't need to know what town I live in. You don't need to know, like, you don't need to know certain things about like my personal life outside of like where I work. Like, you don't need to know where I live. But that will definitely come up. So just kind of like script some answers to certain questions that kind of, you know, that are kind of vague pretty much when it comes to like your personal information or whatever. You don't have to share what your rent is. You don't have to share where you live, because some people, I had one person, she was asking me, I was telling her that I had moved from one town when I was last out of my house to my house in the town that I'm in now. And she was saying, oh, you know, oh, you live in that town? Like, whereby? And I said, oh, it's near, I had told her the exit off of the Parkway. I was like, yeah, it's I get off at that exit. It's like that part of the town. And then she was like, oh, you know, by which street when you get to, where do you go off of the exit? And it's just like, why do you need to know by what street is my house on and all? Like, how does that benefit you? So just be very careful. And I did not tell her. So just be very, very careful about the information that you share that is personal to you, because your life doesn't always have to be flat out on the table just because your client wants to talk, okay? Other than that, I mean, there are a ton of pros to lashing. If you like a very quiet setting with music and just clients sleeping and, you know, more of a slow-paced environment, then it'll be really good for you. And if you can deal with a lot of different personalities and if you can deal with solving problems as they arise, like with clients who may say they're having retention issues or whatever, or maybe, God forbid, they had an allergic reaction, but you're able to like stay professional and have good customer service skills, then I think you'll really, really enjoy it. You do also have to have like some knowledge of money management and, you know, accounting, kind of like managing your money, your income, and your expenses. I use QuickBooks to help me out, but you'll need to be able to know how to determine a profit when you're selling like your cleansers or your services. You need to know numbers a little bit, but it's not like learning statistics or calculus, you know. So it's really not that intimidating. But overall, lashing has been really, really good for me. It's been so nice to take a step away from the chaos of where I came from in corporate America. But yeah, if you're a lash tech, comment down below some of the cons or things that you wish you learned when you became a lash tech, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.